From the headlines that move us
to the plays on the field and the people making a difference.
It's news, sports, and stories that keep our communities alive.
This is the Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
I'm Christopher Ingram.
And I'm Sarina Fazan. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, are you stressed out?
I know you are. You're talking about because it's Christmas in what, 2 days now?
Yes.
I'm not. I've got my daughter Mia coming over for the holiday tomorrow, the day before New Year's, so the 23rd. She's coming over. She's going to spend the night, and then the 24th, I guess she's going to go home and do whatever with her mom and her sisters. But I've got her presents all wrapped, and Christmas Day I'm going to go out to dinner with a friend. So I don't really have a lot of stress. You, on the other hand, have a lot of stress.
Well,
what's going on?
Okay, so let me ask you though this, okay, because this brings up this topic. Do you feel men in general are more like cool, calm, and collected over the holidays?
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, I know I am. I don't get all worked up and upset about, what I'm going to do. I don't have to worry about my hair. I like to cook, so even if if I were cooking and having people over for dinner, that wouldn't stress me out. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I guess, kind of the only thing I don't like, but it doesn't give me stress, is the cleanup part. Like, that's the part I hate about cooking, a big Christmas meal or Thanksgiving dinner.
Is all the cooking and the cleaning, which we want to get to that in a minute. But part of this, I think, okay, do you think the brunt of a lot of the shopping falls on the female?
Absolutely.
Okay, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
I will say, when I was married, my wife did most of the shopping for the kids. I mean, I bought some stuff too, but she took, and also for like all the friends, secondary family and friends. Yeah, she totally did all that. I did not.
Okay, so I think that is like the stress. It's like, oh my gosh, getting all of that done, and also it is. And my significant other Ted and I talk about this all the time. I think it's much harder to shop for men. You
think it's harder as a woman, you think it's harder to shop for men than it is to shop for other women?
Yes.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, that totally makes sense. Like, if I were shopping for Ted, I would have lots of ideas for him. If I were shopping for you, I'd be like, I don't know. Like, really? And for my girls, unless they tell me what they want, I don't know what to get them. I usually just give them money.
Really? Okay, so, but Christopher, let me ask you this, though. Some of the things that some people say, and he says, it's so much easier to shop for women because all the stores, oh, here's this perfume, here's this outfit, here's this bag. And for guys, though, what do you get a guy? I mean, it is so, and I talk to my girlfriends about this all the time, too. I think that you guys are so difficult to shop for.
You think we're difficult to shop for?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think so?
I mean, I don't personally think I'm difficult to shop for, because I don't really need anything and I don't want anything, and so just don't shop for me. How about that?
Okay, so that's the thing. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So a lot of guys will say, we don't need anything. We don't want anything. Right. And if we need something, we're going to go get it. Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so what is someone like me supposed to do? Like
okay,
for your gift, for instance, I feel like my gift to you is, I'm not going to share it with on air, but I don't think it's because you haven't gotten it yet. But I don't think it's like emotional, and because I'm like, okay, what do I get a guy? Right. What do you get a guy that you care about?
Okay, so I would say a couple of things.
Okay.
I don't drink anymore, but I would say if your guy drinks, maybe give him a nice bottle of bourbon or scotch or wine. I mean, I think that's a good gift. Like a really nice bottle of wine. Yeah. I would always appreciate that. But you got to make sure that you're buying a drink, if you're buying alcohol, that it's one that the person actually likes. Just because you like tequila doesn't mean they like tequila. So don't go dropping $150 on a bottle of tequila unless the guy likes tequila. Sports tickets.
Oh,
sports tickets is a good one.
Okay, that's a really good one.
Okay. I would also say electronic things, right? I mean, I like electronics, but again, like, you wouldn't know what to get me. I probably already have whatever I want. Yeah. So you gotta be careful about that, and maybe do a little bit of prying prior to Christmas, about what they want, or things that you recognize them talking about that they might want.
No, but honestly, that is really like kind of pay attention more.
Right.
Maybe,
yeah, kind of pay attention.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I would also say events. right? Activities are always appreciated. And I can tell you the things that I remember from being a kid that I got as presents, it was more about the things that we got that were kind of an activity as opposed to, what did I get in Christmas 1985? I have no freaking idea.
Right.
So, things that the person is interested in, that, maybe they've wanted to do but haven't done, I think that's a good gift as well.
So do you think that it's especially, and I don't mean to be stereotypical, but do you feel, because so oftentimes I think the guy plans a lot, like they plan the dinner or they plan the vacation or they plan something. Do you think that is a thoughtful gift for maybe the significant other, the woman, to plan a date or to plan, a weekend getaway? Would that be something a guy would really like?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, I would, absolutely. Because that's true. I mean, in most of my relationships, if we're going out of town, we're doing something, I plan it. And it's not really a matter of it even being a conversation. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's just assumed or whatever.
Right.
Obviously if she wants to plan or chime in about, hey, let's do X, Y, or Z, let's do it. But yeah, I do think that those types of trips typically fall on the guy.
And you know what, honestly, we're talking about trips and dinners and stuff, but for all budgets, because sometimes, you may not be able to go on a trip or something, but I guess maybe even planning, if the guy likes it, I know maybe we're more into like picnics or something, but whatever your guy could like, right? Like camping or whatever, but for the woman to maybe plan it.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. And I think, you mentioned a dinner. A dinner is really nice. And that could be a cooked dinner that you cook at home, that the guy likes steak, make him a steak.
Yeah.
Or take him out to his favorite restaurant. And it doesn't have to be expensive. But I think that, taking that type of initiative and doing those kinds of things that are more event focused as opposed to gifts. Here's what I will say.
Okay.
I don't like, not to sound ungrateful, but I don't like getting gifts that I don't like. Right? And sometimes my dad used to give me gifts a lot that were things that I neither wanted nor would ever use. And I would literally drop them off at like Goodwill or the Salvation Army a week after Christmas because I know I'm never going to use this. Let's put it to good use, whatever. So I would discourage people or encourage people to not go out and buy things just to give them something, right? Like ties, socks, that kind of thing. Like they're just kind of mindless, thoughtless gifts. I would say don't do that. I would rather get, and we're going to talk, I think, a little bit later about our favorite gifts, but I would rather get something that is kind of heartfelt as opposed to, oh, let me just run down to Target or the mall and pick you up something just for the sake of giving you something.
Yeah, no, but this is really, really, really great advice too, because I know, like, say you plan a dinner for your guy. You could even put it in a gift box and say, something like, on December 28th, I'm taking you to wherever, or, choose your night. You could be creative like that, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you, are you finished shopping?
No, no, I'm so.
Do you still have to shop for Ted?
I still have to shop. I'm almost done though. I am almost done, and it's not just him. Speaking of that, it's all the other people too. And but I am almost done. But I really don't want to be out tomorrow on Christmas Eve shopping.
Fighting over the broken merchandise that's left over. It's all been picked over.
I really, really don't. I don't.
So do you still have to shop for Ted?
Just a few things, but I've been, like getting things along the way.
We can talk after the show.
About like what, because I can't, like spill it because what if he watches?
Okay,
right?
does Ted he likes to grill.
Loves to grill.
Does he have one of those electric thermometers?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, you put it in your meat, like if you're smoking a big piece of meat.
Oh.
Does he have a smoker?
He has a smoker.
Yes. If he smokes meat, then one of these electric thermostats that are a temperature gauge that you push into the meat, and then you can monitor it in real time.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, those are really cool gifts.
Okay,
they're not cheap. Those are running around $100 or more. But if he likes to grill meat, that's a really good gift.
Well, I think what you're saying though is what you just said before. Don't get a bunch of small things that you may not care for.
Right.
Rather get one or two. Yeah. That you're really going to use.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like buying things just for the purpose of having something for that person to open. I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah. One meaningful gift
goes much
a long
further.
Way. Absolutely.
Well, so speaking of the gifts, okay, the other stressful part of it is the wrapping. So Oh my gosh. Like, okay, so I have a lot wrapped, but I have a lot left to wrap.
Okay.
And I'm better this year, though. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit ahead.
Okay.
Because wrapping can be fun. I mean, do you ever know? Like,
I hate rapping.
Yeah.
And I am a terrible rapper.
God.
I look like a blind drunk man wrapped the present. It's really bad.
Well, I have to say I'm not the best rapper either.
You're not?
But I do.
But you enjoy it?
I like things wrapped though, rather than putting everything in a gift bag. You know,
Yeah.
so I enjoy it if there isn't so much at the same time and I'm watching a Christmas movie, honestly, or if there's Christmas music.
One of those painful Christmas movies.
I love Christmas movies. I just love Christmas movies. But I think the wrapping of the gifts can take away from some of the joy when you're so stressed out.
Okay. So
I mean,
maybe that's why God invented gift bags.
Yes, exactly. So I do.
You're doing this to yourself, Sarina.
I don't know, but you're right. So what I do though, I do have a handful of gift bags.
Yeah.
So if I'm like running late and so delayed, but that's my last resort. And I always wrap everything in the stocking too. Did you ever do that?
No.
I don't. The stuff in the stocking isn't wrapped perfectly or anything because it's just meant to, But yeah, so. That too.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got to go home and wrap today, huh?
Well, that's my problem. I've got to still shop and wrap.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to hurry this up. She was giving me a hard time, like we're running a little bit too slow in the pre-show prep here today.
Well, but I think people will be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's the 23rd already."
Yeah, that's crazy.
All
right.
But we should take a deep breath and enjoy everything.
Exactly.
We really honestly should.
Right? Don't stress it.
Yeah.
Right? This is the purpose of Christmas is to obviously recognize the birth of Jesus, but family and exchanging gifts and the quality time together, not getting all worked up over everything. And like just keep that in mind. Like that's the most important thing.
And it was interesting that you said that too, because Ted texted me right before the show and he told me the same thing. And he said to me, Christopher's going to tell you the same thing. He said, just enjoy the day.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the day and it's all going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Another day will come.
Yeah.
Another Christmas will come.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about your favorite gift.
Oh.
Favorite gift of all time. What's yours?
Well, I have to say it doesn't top your favorite gift. Your favorite gift, which you revealed to me, I want you to share yours first because that would be my dream of a favorite gift. So will you share yours?
Sure. So my favorite gift was a letter that my daughter Mia wrote to me almost 6 years ago. The first Christmas that I was out of the house, when I moved out and getting divorced. And she wrote me this like page and a half long letter. And it was just really a nice, Dad, here's why I love you, even though you do crazy, stupid things sometimes. And it was really heartfelt. And I have shared that and posted on Facebook a couple of times over the years, particularly years where my relationship with my girls wasn't so good. And I share that just because it helped me just kind of remember and positively reinforce in my mind, that this is the way it was and this is the way it can get back to again. And anyhow, it was, I even told Mia, my daughter who wrote that letter, I told her last week, I said, Mia, the best Christmas gift I have ever received in my life was that letter that you gave me. And it really was. We're going to throw it up on the screen and share it with the viewers as well. But
it was so
I really
beautiful.
liked that.
It was so beautiful.
Can't top it.
No, you can't. And this wasn't a favorite Christmas gift, but speaking of favorite gifts, my daughter Sammy, those things that you could get at Barnes and Noble or wherever, the bookstore, and it says you can write letters. Write letters to your mom.
Oh, okay.
Write letters.
Yeah.
So Sammy started doing that for me, and it was for Mother's Day. I have got to tell you that by far she never finished it, but it is my favorite gift. Yes, and you and I have been open about. We both were married, and we're both no longer married. I feel like I feel blessed to be in a great relationship, and we're gonna find you.
I'm a work in progress.
But no, you're so amazing. But what I want to say is that with kids, right? no parent in the world, and I hope I'm not, speaking too much out of turn. I'm looking at the camera more than I ever do because usually I look at you. But because no parent wants to hurt, their kids
Right.
or leave their kids or put their kids in that situation, right? But sometimes, sadly, there's no other choice. But that doesn't take away from the love that we have for our children,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
I mean, for whatever it's worth, for anybody listening, out there, and even for maybe the adults that are listening, I would say, please, please, please don't take it out on the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. All right, so hosting any holiday parties? Are you preparing for that as well today and tomorrow?
Yes, so we're hosting Christmas Eve. I used to host both. You said you're having...
Me is coming over tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The day before, the 23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd. Yeah. It's a lot. I do love hosting. There's something so special about hosting. Yeah. But it is a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Well, I'm not hosting anything this year, and I guess I'm kind of glad for that. I'm gonna, as I mentioned earlier, going to go out to dinner on Christmas Day with a friend. So
where are you guys going to go?
We're going to Timpano.
Oh, that'll be fun. Sometimes, honestly, Christmas Day out to dinner can be very special. I've done that before, and it's really can be very, very nice.
I had never gone out to dinner in my whole life until I got divorced. And a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago, my mom was in town, and I took my mom and my daughters out to dinner. And I think that year we went to Seasons 52. I was shocked at how many people go out to dinner on Christmas Day. I was really shocked. I'd never done it before.
And it can be so festive and so beautiful. And then speaking of, like when you and I were talking about hosting and cleaning up.
Right, no cleanup.
No cleanup. And I think what you just shared with me, Christopher, and put my mind at ease and just like enjoy the day, but it's what we make it, right?
Right, it is.
It is what we make it. Yeah. So instead of, I have nowhere to go on Christmas, or, this, or we wish this, or we wish that. And believe me, I know it's so much easier said than done because I fall into that trap all the time. It's embracing your reality.
Right. And, I think you and a lot of people probably, you add a lot of stress to it because you build up in your mind your own expectations of what the day should be like that no one else probably has those high of expectations. So I think, you just maybe dial it down a little bit and just spend the quality time with your family.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, that is really, because that is what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it boils down to it.
Okay, football. Lots of big games last weekend and lots of big important games coming up. Sarina, I actually missed most football games last weekend because I was traveling home on Sunday. So you got to fill us in on all the big scores that you looked at and watched.
Well, speaking of family, I was also traveling, and I was in Chicago because my niece, it was her baby shower. It's the first baby in the family, so we were so excited. But, I come from a family that's a huge, huge football family. So living in Chicago,
the Bears.
Of course, the Bears.
The Bears.
Oh my gosh, playing Green Bay, and
big rivalry.
Oh my God, huge rivalry. Yeah. Jordan Love gets a concussion. Now both my brothers are physicians, doctors. They're talking about the concussion. My brother is actually at the game. He's a neurosurgeon. Right. I believe he's a neurosurgeon. But I'm texting him like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And now there's such strict protocols, as you know. I mean, they don't take, they don't take any chances. So it was so interesting though, because wow, the backup quarterback did such a great job, but the Bears pulled it off in overtime.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, that guy is such a superstar. So they won. But there were a lot of games, Christopher, that weekend that boiled down to like the last few minutes. The oh my gosh. It was the Lions. I have to look because the Lions and the Steelers. So Chicago, of course, wanted the Steelers to win because that confirmed their place in the playoffs.
Right.
But I love Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff threw a touchdown. He went in for the touchdown, but it didn't count because he didn't get it. Yeah. And so it was heartbreaking for that team. And then the night game was the Ravens and the Patriots. And I've got to say, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, who ended up getting injured though, We're doing really well, but that Drake May with the Patriots, man,
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, he
I
really,
didn't watch that game, but I've watched him before. He's really good.
he is just incredible. Yeah, so he came out.
All right, now we got to talk about the Bucks.
Yes.
I did watch a little bit of the Bucks game in the airport, and boy, what a heartbreaking letdown, right? And here we are. We got only 3 games to go, counting last week, and we're kind of in control of our own destiny. If we keep winning, we're going to be the division leader, and we lose.
Yeah.
And we got Miami next weekend at Miami, and then the last game of the season back here in Tampa playing the Panthers again.
Right. It's the rematch of that heartbreaking
And
loss.
we basically got to win them all. If we want to be the division champion, we've got to win them all.
And so let me ask you about this, because you and I are, huge fans, of course, of the Buccaneers. The last few games, though, heartbreaking losses. I mean, heartbreaking losses. And in historically, when we look at the team, that's happened before. They're going, and then oh gosh, like what happened?
Just a little breakdown.
Do you? Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question. I know people might be. I went to that throwback game, as you know, where they had that crushing.
The one you didn't invite me to?
Yeah, well, that was only because my brother, who was in town, invited me to that game. So it was, Atlanta won in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I had to walk quite a bit, which I don't mind at all, but the crowd was screaming, not about Baker Mayfield losing, but about Todd Bowles. They felt like Todd Bowles should be out.
Yeah.
So I don't mean to upset
tough,
anybody or
right?
anything, but what's your opinion on
It's
that?
tough being a head coach in the NFL, or college for that matter, too. I mean, the expectation is win or be gone. 2 or 3 years, if you don't turn us into, some sort of a playoff contending team, you're out of here. I mean, we got the similar thing going on down in Miami with the head coach down there, Mike McDaniels. He had a great first 2 years. This year has just been abysmal, starting out with, all of the controversy in the locker room, Tyreek Hill getting hurt, Tua being inconsistent. I mean, Tua was benched last week for Quinn Ewers, who's their second string quarterback. I mean, Tua is riding the bench right now, and he's making god-awful crazy kind of money to be riding the bench. And the pressure is on McDaniel to produce. They finally got rid of their GM in Miami, Chris Greer, but Stephen Ross the owner of the team is, kind of indicating like McDaniel might still have a chance to come back next year, but, ending with 3 or 4 losses, I just don't know. I don't see it. And man, the fans in Miami, just like what they were saying here in Tampa, they want his head on a platter.
There's a lot, because I feel for the head coaches and I feel for all the players. I mean, there's a lot riding on them, but then the other side of the coin is, well, you're getting paid a lot.
Right, big time bucks.
Right.
Cry them a river, right? Yeah, these guys, they're getting their coin for sure.
Well, we love football, and there's a lot of football going on
Big
Christmas
games
Day.
coming up, right? Christmas Day.
So will you be watching games on Christmas Day?
I will. I will definitely be watching some football on Christmas Day, and I'm glad that they have that. And it's kind of like Thanksgiving, right? It's like the Thanksgiving tradition. Now we've got Christmas Day games. So yeah, it's cool. We're some of the games, Cowboys and the Commanders.
And that game, that's the early game, and both of them are out of the
eliminated.
playoffs.
Right.
So it's one of those, I think you could have that game on, and
Not
it's
really
in the
pay attention.
background,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the next game, wow, it's the Vikings, and it's the Lions. So the Vikings are out.
The
but
Lions are still in the hunt.
And they have to win. And it's interesting because the Lions, they played on Thanksgiving too, and so now they also play on Christmas. But yeah, I mean, that one's a really, really, really big one.
And then the Broncos and the Chiefs.
So the Broncos and the Chiefs, I think, is interesting. I think that's another one. Like, hey, if you're going out to dinner, it's a good time to go out to dinner, because the Broncos and Bo Nix have already cinched, and the Chiefs are out.
But that's a big rivalry.
Yeah,
that is a big rivalry. The first game and the third game are both big rivalry games.
Which are really so those.
And
as
the Vikings,
said,
all 3 of them are.
all 3. But so the first, the ones, the first one and the other one. Of course, I love all the matches, but.
Yeah.
It's so fun watching, but there's no playoff stuff that's riding on it.
Yeah, there's nothing riding on it. But we got it riding on this weekend. The Bucks are at Miami, and I'm kind of conflicted there. I mean, I guess I'm going to be. I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan, but I think I'm going to be rooting for the Bucks because of the playoff implications. That they need to win. A win will help them get the championship for the division, and
because you love your Dolphins, but they're not in.
Yeah, they're out.
They're out. So yeah.
I mean, they ought to lose. Just lose so they get a better draft pick next year. A lot of fans were calling for that earlier this season. Like, no, don't start winning. We suck. Just keep losing and get the number 1 draft pick. But that's gonna be a good game.
Are you going to go?
I'm not going to that game. I was thinking about it. I wanted to go down there, but it's a haul, and it's basically 2 days because I don't want to go to the game and then drive home that night.
Yeah.
So I just didn't make it in the cards. But I am going to go to the Bucks Carolina game, the last game of the season.
Oh, well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And gosh, I mean, it could boil down to week 18.
It could, yeah, it could.
You know, depending on how everything plays
Right.
out. Because if Carolina, what is it? If Carolina loses to Seattle, if Carolina loses to Seattle, then I think that week 18 is, and the Bucks win, right, or something. I can't keep track, so I don't want people to score me because I'm really bad at that kind of stuff.
Well, the bottom line is the Bucks need to keep winning, and I
Yeah.
think if the Bucks win the last 2 games, that they will be the division leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So much
Go
fun.
Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Okay, not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve.
Oh.
New Year's Eve. What are your thoughts on New Year's? Are you a big New Year's Eve party goer?
Well, so I'll say this. Sammy, my daughter, of course, and maybe your girls, at their age, yes. I mean, you know, like going out, it's so much fun. You know, for me, New Year's Eve is an intimate dinner, being with friends. But I do love New Year's Eve. But I don't need to be out and going out.
Right.
But I love it because I feel like it's the start of a new, the start of a new year.
Yeah.
And so I do love doing something special on New Year's Eve. But it could be literally ordering a pizza and being at home with the people I care about the most.
That's cool.
How about you?
I typically am not a big fan of New Year's Eve. I think I used to call it amateur night.
And a lot of people do.
Right? Because you get everybody out there drinking their heads off and, go out to dinner or to an event and they're overpriced and
so
crowded
overpriced.
and not that much fun. I don't really, it's never been my thing. When I was married, we used to do with a couple of different couples, we would do a personal chef that would come into one of our homes. We'd have the personal chef make us a meal. The kids would, have pizza and stuff like that. And we would have a nice dinner and it was really cool, but I'm not doing that anymore. But this year, actually, a friend of mine, Misty, she asked me to come with she and her boyfriend to do something. I'm not sure. We haven't really decided what. Maybe go to her house or them to my house. I don't know. I got to find a date, though, and I don't have like a week and a couple days to do that. But, yeah, so
throwing it out
I think
there.
that's what we're going to do. It'll be, at home at either her house or my house and just chill because I don't really like going out.
Yeah, but the personal chef thing, though, I think is
It's
so
a lot
special.
of fun.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
That is so special.
Yeah.
So special. Yeah, I mean, I won't be out.
No.
I won't be. And if I do go out, I'll definitely be home well before midnight.
Right, right.
Maybe toast at midnight,
Yeah.
but I'll be home.
And of course, the most important thing is don't drink and drive. It's not
Yes.
worth
Oh,
it.
it's
It
not
just
worth it.
absolutely is not worth it. Make a plan before you go out on how you're going to get home, because I think too often people, they go out, they're not planning on drinking and driving, but then they do drink too much, and then they're thinking, oh, well, I got the car to worry about, and so I'm just going to drive as opposed to calling an Uber so we don't have to deal with going to get the car the next day. It's not worth a
It's not worth
DUI.
it.
It's not worth killing yourself or hurting other people. So just have a plan before you go out on how you're going to get home.
And there are so many free ride services that night. I mean, it's so simple just to Google it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, though, that is the best advice, and I echo you 100%.
And if you're planning on using Uber or Lyft, no, they are going to be extremely overwhelmed. And while that might be your plan, you need to have a backup, because I know I've experienced this before on a New Year's Eve when we were doing the home chef thing and trying to get back to our house, and it was like 2 or 3 hours before an Uber was going to pick us up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We ended up just spending the night there.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it. Don't get a DUI.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Oh.
Do you have New Year's
I
resolutions too?
typically do not do New Year's resolutions. So no, I'm not a New Year's resolution kind of guy. How about you?
Well, I would say that I am definitely a New Year's resolution type of girl.
Okay.
but
What are they this year?
But I see what you're saying. Like, with some people, like when you feel that it's amateur night, which I completely understand. A lot of people do see it that way. For me, I don't know. I've always loved, again, New Year's because I feel like it's a fresh start. It's new. For me, I want to be, I feel like I respect and admire you so much, as you know. The entrepreneurship road, though, can be, as you and I both know, difficult. There's so many
Right.
things, and I've been
It
an
is.
entrepreneur now for a long time. So this year, but my doctor's appointments have slipped. So many financially, but I need to be more focused on what my
What's
speaking of,
driving you?
yeah, and
professionally?
embracing my reality though, like especially like because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything,
Right.
right? So my doctor's appointments, for instance, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Go
like,
to your doctor's appointments. Sarina.
yes, no, honestly, like I was diagnosed with glaucoma this year, but I didn't even go to the doctor until Sammy could tell that there was something going on, and I was going blind very fast.
Really?
And they did my surgery within weeks.
That's good.
So I can't, like, but it's
Yeah, don't let it go.
Yeah. It's
So what's your New Year's resolution?
So just to really be like on top, like
on top of things.
Yeah, on top of things, health.
Recognizing the important things that need to be addressed.
Yes. Okay. Rather than getting, I am very career oriented, like you are, and I know the job and the career are very important, but I think it's also very important to balance out the reality of your life, those appointments, and things that you need to get done personally to make sure that professionally it can be a long road.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. But nothing worth having is easy to come by, right?
Right.
All right. You're the best.
You are the best.
Well, every story shared
adds another heartbeat to Tampa Bay.
From courage to community.
We're so proud to tell the stories that keep our neighborhood strong.
Thanks for watching The Heartbeat of Tampa Bay. Happy New Year.